buildings. How do you, balance and prioritize different segments when we talk about green buildings and how to make them safer? What's your priority level of technologies which you use?
So when we look at a green building, I think the first thing comes to our mind, and that is where we have to work very closely as engineer with architects, is to create a envelope which is friendly for a green building design. So it's
Right.
very important that architects select right orientation of building. They create they have correct window wall ratios for the building.
Right.
They use correct materials of glass or the U values of the material which goes into creating walls or the insulation or envelope design uh, is very important aspect, because even if you use the smartest and most energy efficient equipments, which is where our role starts, if correct inputs are not given to architects, then it can never become a successful energy efficient project. So it is the first step is always creating a very important work with architect as a designer. We have to give right inputs to them, make them understand the importance at right stage of design. Once everything goes for a municipal passing and all that, uh, very seldom it becomes a ego problem. So before the piling is done, before once the drawing comes to your board or you start working with it, the first reactions are very important, and that play a very important role for it from our consultant point of view or interaction with the architect goes. So to me, uh, it is the most important step to create a orientation and envelope which is the best. And we all understand that north can have glass and southwest is giving us maximum solar gain. So we need to sensitively do that and sensitively use the building material, the shading coefficients and glass values.
Right.
Because whatever you say, many architects would still like to do a glazed building. We have to really interact with them for correct shade of the glass, the U values, and keep on giving them input so that they select the right envelope.
Right.
Once the envelope is designed, I think our role starts where we have to really look into various systems, and we all know that air conditioning consumes between 50 to 60% of energy in any building. So first thing becomes selecting a right air conditioning system,
Right.
and then also the pumping systems. The water consumption is also very critical in most of the cities. So how do you reuse, recycle the water is very important. So how do you connect rainwater? How do you treat it, and how do you reuse water? And that becomes very important. And there is a good sensitivity already exists. I come from Gujarat, where we had seen scares of water. I still remember in 90s when I used to travel towards Saurashtra region. A three-star hotel will mean they will provide you 3 buckets of water. 4-star will provide you 4 buckets of water. So we have seen those days. So we understand each drop is very important for the nation and for the project. So we are very particular on designing our buildings in not only air conditioning side but the water side. It's harvesting, it's and also using it correctly.
Okay.
And then, of course, there are elements like lift, and they are also regenerative type lifts available. A lot of technology is changing very fast. So anything which consumes power is become the prime design point where we want to create that awareness with architects, wants to have right spaces, and then design it. Because if we all know that the radiant systems are effective, but if they are not rightly designed and architects and structural consultants don't provide for spaces, you can't implement it later.
Right.
So conceptualizing right technology, creating that cost awareness to the customer, seek their approvals at right time, and then plan buildings. And of course, post-COVID, one more important area which has emerged is indoor air quality, which is also very important. And for that, locating your air handling unit at right spaces in the building, um, getting those spaces allocated, because normally the reason of architects is to give us negative spaces of the building. They will always like, and any owner will like, the beautiful views outside at prime location. But we have to make them understand our importance of drawing the fresh air and creating that at right stage. Architects can do creative designs for the fresh air, jalis, lowers, and they can ensure that it aesthetically maintains their vision. So giving them right inputs for fresh air treatment and adequate areas are there is also becoming very important post-COVID specifically.
Makes sense.
So all these aspects have immense bearing on what is overall power consumption, energy consumption, water consumption. Right. Of course, on the electrical side, more or less the country has shifted to LED, thanks to the government for creating that awareness, and the lighting industry has almost shifted there. So it's not a brainer. We are now at some point in air conditioning load. I used to take 1.5 watt to 2 watt per square foot as lighting load. The current standards, we are designing buildings with 0.4 to 0.6 watt per square foot easily. So that has been the reduction, almost 3 times reduction has already happened. And so as the appliances, which are integral part of heat dissipation, are getting the servers are getting efficient. Every aspect is getting efficient. So that is complementing on per square foot load figures. So to me, I think green building is all about doing a right time integration at concept stage where the building is evolving, the design is evolving, the architect and structural consultant and building owners have to sit together, spend some good design time, and not start and then you expect engineers to give drawings. It is not the way a right design will happen. So give some time on that aspect, and probably architects and engineers can do.